Hey, friends. Most people call me Jay. I'm known as Geronimo on most of the gaming platforms. And I am here to bring you some Magic the Gathering Arena content. We are currently at Diamond Tier 4 in constructed rank. This is solely on standard. I have really invested into the standard metagame as far as crafting cards and buying packs and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where I am sitting for now. I'd love to get into some of the other formats, but this is where I've invested most of my time and money. So this is the content that I plan to produce for a little bit, as far as Magic the Gathering Arena. You can see that the season ends in 12 days. So at this point, it is a race to Mythic. I've only achieved Mythic once in about let's say, probably around a year of playing Magic the Gathering Arena, maybe less. I don't remember when I started. I've been playing Magic the Gathering for quite a while, though. It's been since Alara Block was when I really started investing my time and money and traveling on the Star City game circuit and playing in Pro Tour qualifiers and trying to just make it happen. But then I kind of fell out of that and started a family and went to school, got my big boy job, all those things. So, but now kind of at a season of life where I can slow down a little bit and kind of invest in the things that I enjoy. And this is one of them. Gaming's a big, big thing I enjoy. So here we are, making this content, and we're going to try to do a few things today. So I'm going to try, probably with all these videos that I make, we're going to have 3 achievements. Achievements are always great. So one of those achievements will always be to try to get to the next tier rank. So I need 6 wins within this video in order to get to tier 3. That's kind of my first achievement. So let's jump over to the deck and we'll acquire a couple more. All right, and here we are at the deck. You are reading this right. It is mono blue. Mono blue. Yeah, kind of an interesting deck to be playing this current meta. I thought so myself, and then I started jamming some games with this deck, and it's been really fun. I've been able to pick apart some aggro decks and really just out tempo them until I get to the late game, and then I can just start dropping the big bombs and having a lot of fun. So let's go through some card choices here. The Consider and the Delver of Secrets and the Fading Hopes at the 1 drops, those really just help to shape our hands, to bounce creatures on the other side of the board. We can even bounce our creatures back to our hand in case something's trying to get blown away. If you're not familiar with some of these cards, consider you get to look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard and then draw a card. So you get to look at the top card. If you like it, you can keep it there and then draw it. If you don't like it, you can throw it in the graveyard and then draw a new card. Pretty great. And this is actually good with Delver of Secrets. So before your draw step, you could always consider right at the upkeep and look at the top card. And if it is, as Delver of Secrets is saying at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. And if it's an instant or sorcery, you can flip it. And it transforms into this Insectile Aberration, which is a 3/2 flyer. So for 1 mana, you could get a 3/2 flyer on turn 2, which is pretty awesome. So Consider kind of helps shape this, but it also helps put away the things you don't need and potentially grab something that you do need as the game progresses. Then we go to Fading Hope, which returns target creature to its owner's hand. If its mana value was 3 or less, scry 1. So pretty much all blue decks in the meta currently are playing some number of copies of this deck. Since we're mono blue and we don't have any kind of big sweepers that we can really play against aggro decks, we need some stuff to really just kind of outrace our opponent. Or help so that they don't outrace us, I guess is a better way of putting it. So we bounce their creatures back. And then we can just keep playing our lands and then potentially get to some of these other things here. So Jwari Disruption, it counters target spell unless the controller pays 1. So, we can bounce some things back and they try to play it again. We can counter it. That's kind of one of the main game plans with this deck. It can also give us a land. Which is possible, something that we might need. And I only play one of these just because there's a lot of other spells that I wanted to throw in here. like Test of Talents. Test of Talents is a great counterspell. It's great, greatly suited for the meta currently. There's a lot of cards that we just don't want our opponents to have that are great against us. One of those cards would be Allrun's Epiphany, which we run as well, and we'll get to. But this can counter our opponent's Allrun's Epiphany, potentially their combo pieces in order to go off, which we'll talk about that combo here in a second because we kind of run it in a roundabout way. So yeah, this is just a great card to get a lot of those annoying instants or sorceries out of your opponent's deck and see their hand, which is always good because then you have some information that you didn't have before. And then we can also look through their deck, which is even better because then we can kind of assess what's actually going on, what their whole game plan is. So this is just a great card. You get a lot of information just for 2 mana. Then we have Teach by Example, and this is kind of the first combo piece for the deck. So we can play this on. Well, we're hoping to probably have. Let's get over here. There we go. Having foretold the Allrun's Epiphany at some point early on in the game. And when you play this card, you can create 2 1/1 bluebird creature tokens with flying, which, it's okay. Yeah, you get a couple birds. But the best part about this is you get to take an extra turn. And so what we can do is that we can, with 8 mana, and as long as our opponent can't interact with this at all, we can play this instant. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, you copy that spell. So you make 2 copies of Allrun's Epiphany. You get 4 birds right off the bat, and you get 2 extra turns. So that's 8 damage that you get to swing in the air, and you get to take a couple extra turns that you could potentially find another Teach by Example, another Allrun's Epiphany, and just keep rotating that. So it's a cute little thing to do in the deck. But it could definitely help in late game. And with it being mono blue, that's probably the best thing that we can do. The 3 drops, let's go here. So we have Divide by 0. We've got 4 copies of this, just another great essential counter spell. I mean, anything they play, we can just bounce back to their hand. And then we get to go to our Learn board, which is over here. And there's a ton of lessons here that we can pull from our sideboard. So, our deck is only 60 cards, but we have these additional 7 cards that once we play a Divide by 0, we can go and fetch. So we have Environmental Sciences. We have, which you're allowed to search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it to your hand, shuffle, and gain 2 life. So this is a great card if you're running low on mana. You need to find something, helps thin out your deck because you're searching for a land, and you get to gain a couple life, which is also pretty relevant against a lot of these fast aggro decks, things that are happening in the meta. You just might need a couple extra life. Then you have Teachings of the Archaics. Teachings of the Archaics is that if an opponent has more cards in hand than you, you can draw 2 cards, and then draw 3 cards instead if an opponent has at least 4 more cards in hand than you. So with you bouncing all their spells back to their hand constantly, this is actually a pretty great card to pull from the sideboard because we could probably draw 3 cards off of it. Introduction to Annihilation. This is a good removal spell. We get to exile any non-land permanent that our opponent plays, and then they get to draw a card, which, that's a little bit of a downside, but we at least get to get rid of one of their big threats that might be in the way. And then we play 3 copies of Mascot Exhibition because why not? It's a great lesson card. You get to create 3 creatures for 7 mana. So you get a 2/1 flyer, you get a 3/2, and you get a 4/4. All great threats later on when you're able to drop that. All right. So that's what the ability Learn does. It allows you to go to your sideboard and pick out a lesson card to add to your hand. Saw It Coming. Saw It Coming is just another counter spell. You can also foretell this earlier on in the game and counter something for 2 mana, which is great. So we play a few copies of this. And then this is a card that's really been showcased a lot recently. It was showcased a lot in the World Championships. And I guess a lot of people were sleeping on this or didn't really understand it. So I currently only have 1 copy of it, and that's probably why I'm not playing more. But I feel like I see this 1 copy enough to not really worry about adding more in currently. So let's talk about the card. It's called the Celestus. It's a legendary artifact. If it's neither day or night, it becomes day as the Celestus enters the battlefield. So there's a lot of day and night triggers in this format with a lot of werewolves and different creatures and cards. If it becomes day or night, then there's an effect that happens. So typically the day side, there's nothing, big, but when it switches to night, there's usually something else that happens. And so with this card specifically, we can use it for mana ramp. So we can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So it's kind of a mana rock that we can use. But we can also pay 3 mana and tap it on our turn as a sorcery. And if it's night, it becomes day. And whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain 1 life. So that could be helpful, be relevant, but you get to draw a card and discard a card. So it's another card drawing engine that we can add to our deck and really help us find the cards that we need. So hopefully we get to play this and you get to see it in action. But it's a fun little card. We go to our 4 drops, which I just have a couple of memory deluges. And this card is great. We can look at the top X cards of our library, where X is the amount of mana spent. So first time we cast it, we get to look at 4 cards, and we get to choose 2 of those and put it into our hand. And then we get to put the rest on the bottom of our library in any order. And then it has flashback. So it just kind of sits in exile. And then later on in the game, once we have 7 mana, we can flash it back. Then we get to look at the top 7 cards of our library, choose 2 of those to put in our hand, and then put the rest on the bottom in any order that we want. So we just get to dig deeper. We get to find the things that we need, hopefully find some of those combo pieces to help us win later on. I'm only running 2 of these because I only have 2 crafted. Yeah, that's the the downside of being, a new Magic player in Magic Gathering Arena. If you don't have the cards, you can't play them. So we're doing the best we can with what we have here. This is another card that really kind of broke out. People were sleeping on, and it is Lear, Disciple of the Drowned. So whenever it's on the battlefield, spells can't be countered. That means I can't counter spells. That means my opponent can't counter spells. It's like, well, hey, Jay, why would you play this if you're running a ton of counter spells and you like that just doesn't make sense. It seems counterintuitive to your strategy. It's like, well, yeah, kind of. But what you can do is if you have a Fading Hope, you could bounce it back to your hand first with the Fading Hope, and then you can counter a spell after that. So that's kind of a weird, tricky way that you can get around countering something when Lear's out. But the main reason we play Lear is because each instant or sorcery card that's in our graveyard has flashback. So everything that we have that's an instant or sorcery has flashback, and its cost is equal to the card's mana cost. So our teach by examples, once we use them, that's why I'm only running a couple, because we can actually flash those back and copy some things again. It's also a 3/4, which isn't bad. It's a good body to help us kind of swing in or protect a little bit. And it's a wizard, which is even more relevant here in a second when we get to our big things here. So Alrund's Epiphany, we'll start there. That's part of the combo piece that we talked about. So this can be considered a 6-drop. You might play it as a 7-drop a lot of the time too. So that kind of fits that middle section that we're missing. But Cyclone Summoner, this is kind of our mass removal spell because we don't have a sweeper. This kind of acts as our sweeper. So when Cyclone Summoner enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, you return all permanents to their owner's hands except for giants, wizards, and lands. So with Lear being a wizard, right? If it's on the battlefield and you play a Cyclone Summoner, everything else bounces back, but you get to keep your Lear with your Cyclone Summoner, which means you're swinging in for 10 potentially next turn. If you have another Cyclone Summoner in your hand, and when you bounce everything back to their hand and they start reloading again, you could play another Cyclone Summoner, bounce everything back, swing in, and that Cyclone Summoner is going to stay because it's a wizard as well. And a giant, so it's doubly going to stay. Another cool thing is Delver. If it doesn't flip, it's a wizard. So, if you play that, drop your summoner, your Delver's going to stay there. Hopefully it flips next turn, and then you can start swinging in for some more damage there too. So these are probably the best wizards I could find to incorporate at this point. There are some other card choices that you're probably thinking through right now. It's like, well, why didn't you include that? Well, probably because I either don't have crafted or I just haven't considered it yet. So if you have some suggestions after this video, definitely drop them into the comments and we will throw them in and try them out. We'll see how this works. This is what we're rolling with today. So let's get back to those achievements. So the first achievement we talked about, we want to try to get to the next tier, which would be tier 3 of Platinum. That race to Mythic that we talked about. So we're trying to get there. So I need at least 6 wins, and I don't know. I might play again. Let's play 10 games. Let's play 10 games. See how we do. That'll give us a good percentage. Then we can, let's see. We have a daily. A daily. Hey, let's go to the home, and we'll check out what the daily is today. So this is our daily achievement. I meant to save all 40 of the land drops for this video, but I accidentally started the game earlier and played 6 lands. So yeah, we're gonna try to just fight through that, get all 40 lands so that we can get our 750 coins, and then the last thing would probably be to let's try to make the combo happen with All Runs Epiphany. Try to make that happen. Okay, so we got 3 achievements. We talked about the deck. Let's jump in. All right, here we go. Going into our first match with Yaz. Yaz. Yeah, I think that's Yaz. Okay. All right, so we've got an opening hand with 3 lands, a Consider, a couple Memory Deluges, and a Leer. So there's not a whole lot that we're doing early game, especially if we get paired up against an aggro deck that can really come out of the gates. We're probably going to lose unless we draw into something. So this is hard keep, potentially. I mean, we do get to look at a card right off the bat and determine if we want to keep it or not. I think we can potentially do better. Let's mulligan. Okay. Kind of a similar hand here. So I guess we're just going to keep the 6. Let us probably throw back the Cyclone Summoner. We've got 3 in the deck. We'll probably see him later. All right, our opponent plays Swamp and says go, and I say hello. We are going to play an island and pass the turn. Typical island deck thing to do. Island pass. It's what everyone loves to see in Magic the Gathering. Sculptor of Winter. So we are trying to ramp a little bit there. Let's play our Hall of the Storm Giants because if we control 2 or more other lands, it comes into the battlefield tapped. So since it's our second land, it becomes untapped. And I think it'll probably be beneficial for us to foretell our Solid coming and pass the turn, which is another very typical blue deck thing to do in this current format. We await to see what our opponent does. Take a swig of coffee. We need coffee in our lives right now. All right. Very typical mono green things happening here. We got a splash of black. I'm sure we've got some renewable happening here, which may not be great for us. We'll see. Okay. Well, they're getting pretty ahead. We're not really finding much to help us with these creatures, so I think we just pass. Because if they drop a threat here, we can at least counter it. But we're taking a lot of damage in the meantime, which is unfortunate. We'll allow that to resolve. So here we go. Briarbridge Tracker has Vigilance. When it enters battlefield, you get to investigate, which means you get this little token thing here. Pay 2, sacrifice it, draw a card. It's pretty great. And as long as you control a token, this gets +2/+0. So they're probably not going to sack that token anytime soon because that helps them quite a bit. All right. Looks like we get to pass again. We're going to be down to 6. But we definitely need to Memory Deluge here and try to find something that can bounce some stuff. Now we got to let that resolve. So they get to get a basic forest card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Great great time. We're going to get slapped for 7. All right. Yeah, that's kind of covering this up, but they went to their sideboard and grabbed Scrytooth and draw a card, Introduction to Prophecy. So yeah, we're going to pass here. Going to let them swing in, and then I'm just going to go ahead and Memory Deluge right now, just because I can. Well, there we go. We get a Fading Hope. Do we want to consider or just another land? Consider. Yeah, it lets us look at least. It could help us dig a little bit more. And we've got 4 lands currently. To put 2 more in the bank. I think we probably need a little bit of help there. All right. Can we survive this turn? I think so, because we can drop that back to their hand. So I think we Epiphany. We foretell that. That way next turn we can go ahead and play it, take an extra turn. And then this turn we can counter something and bounce something. So let's hope we don't die. Otherwise, this game is not a very good representation of what this deck can do. Yeah, get the Scry 2 and then draw a card. I don't really want to counter something like that. I'd rather them try to drop a threat so that I can counter that instead. Okay, so let's bounce the Fading Hope. We'll bounce that Briar Bridge back to their hand. Its mana value is 3, and so I do get to Scribe 1 from it, which is nice. It's another Fading Hope, and so I'll keep that on top so that we will draw into it. I'll pass, let the damage come through. And then don't think they played a land yet this turn. Okay, so they're going to sack that so they can get their land in play. And then, all right, so we'll go ahead and consider, and I can put that card into the graveyard. I'm going to decline because I want a Fading Hope into my hand. And then we'll take our turn. That's a fun draw. Okay, so we got 4, 5, 6 mana, so we can Epiphany. Do we need to Epiphany this turn? I don't think we need to. I think we can go ahead and play the Celestis, and then we can bounce something and counter something again. So you're like, Jay, you're at 2 life, man. Well, yeah, that's true. But I think we're okay. I think we're okay for the moment. This also gives us a little bit of time. Maybe we can find our combo piece. Okay, that's definitely getting countered. We don't want a Seeka's Chariot on the field. So when this thing comes out, it creates 2/2/2 cat tokens. And then the vehicle itself crews for 4. So crewing means that you tap creatures that here we go. Tap any number of creatures you control with total power 4 or more. So they could tap the 2 cats, bring the chariot out, swing in with the chariot, and then the chariot gets a copy of token that's on the battlefield. So they get a lot of creatures really quickly. So yeah, we don't need that on the field. They're probably going to swing in with the Sculptor, which we've got the Fading Hope to save us. So there we go. Oh, look, we get another Fading Hope. I think we'll probably keep that as well. So we draw the Fading Hope, we Field of Ruin, and we play Epiphany. And then we take our extra turn with our birds. Now, I don't think that they have anything with haste, but they do have this lair. Okay, so we could activate our Hall, which is for 6 mana, which would leave us with 2 mana, one from the field and one from the Celestis. That's probably not a good thing to do right now. So I think we leave the mana open and we go ahead and swing in with our bird so we can get a couple damage in, which that might bite us in the butt. I really don't think they have anything with haste. Maybe they do, and then we get blown out. I think we take the risks just so we can get a little bit of damage in. If they have something with haste, I can at least fading hope it. We can bounce it back. All right, so we didn't play anything this turn, so Celestis gets to flip. We gain a life. And then we can draw a card, and if we do, we discard a card. Do we want to take that action? Okay. Sure. Yeah, you can kill my bird. We just got 2 damage off that, so that's fun. Oh, well, we got 2 more damage off that one. That's fine with me. Okay. So I don't want to take this action because I don't want to get rid of anything in my hand. So I'm going to decline. These are 2 great cards. Okay, so they get to play their Sculptor, which means their lair is doing nothing this turn. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So let's flash back our Memory Deluge. Now we get to dig 7 deep, so we get to find a couple cards from the top 7 cards of our library. So let's look. Let's see what we find. Okay, well, we've got Delver. Delver is okay at this point. May not be the best solution. I think we probably take Divide by 0. And I think I want this other Field of Ruin in case they draw another like lair or something that we can't deal with. And then I'll go ahead and just Fading Hope this back to their hand because that's fun. Ooh, there we go. There's one of our Cyclone Summoners. We'll keep that. Telling me good game. Okay, does that mean good game on my end? Not sure. Let's see. Am I okay with getting rid of the field? I think I'm okay. I mean, we know it's there. Never mind. We'll go ahead and grab the Cyclone Summoner. We don't need to dig much deeper at this point. Okay, so we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got 10 mana. We can activate this for 6, and then we have 3 mana left over. So we could Test of Talents or Divide by 0 something, or we could Field of Ruin this lair, depending on what they do on their turn. So yeah, let's go ahead and activate our Hall. We'll go ahead and swing in for 7, so we get them at 7. Because with 1 green mana, I don't believe they can do anything to this lair. Sorry, not lair. Hall. They have the lair. I have the Hall. Okay, so we're going to end our turn. And what's also great about this is that it has Ward 3, which means anything they try to do to this, they have to pay 3 extra mana, or it counters it. All right, so we're going to take action. We're going to gain another life. Let's see here. Do we need the Test of Talents at this point? I don't think we do. I think it's better to have the Divide by 0. We'll see what happens. Okay, they're going to activate their lair. Sure. So we want to allow it to go to attackers so that their mana is disrupted within the attack phase. That way they can't use it in their second main phase. So we get to go get an island. And then they have 2 mana that they can drop something. They might play their Sculptor again. Okay, there we go. Let's just put the icing on the cake. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play this. We'll see if they stick around or not. We'll say good game. Go get our mascot exhibition. We'll decline. And we win the game. We win the game, friends. Let's activate our hall. They blow up. We did it. We have acquired a victory. I'm really surprised we won that game. That was 2 mana. That's all it took. Actually, it just took them not drawing things. It's really how we won. They had removal in their hand. They had lots of beastly creatures that we wouldn't have been able to deal with at all that game. We got lucky. Sometimes that happens in Magic, though. So, all right. We're going first. We've got 4 mana, this is great to see in an opening hand. We've got another Delver, which we know how well Delver did last game, so we'll keep him around. We'll try him out again. We got a Fading Hope and Leer, so this is looking like an okay hand. I'm okay with this. We can bounce an early threat that they play out. We can play an early threat ourselves that they'll have to deal with. But we'll see if we just draw a ton of land off the top. Sometimes that happens too. You just get flooded. All right, so we're playing some sort of life gain deck. Oh, hey, look, we get to reveal and flip our Delver. Okay, so they're playing, if you gain life, you gain that much life plus 1. So anytime they gain life, they get an extra life. Silly. They can pump 4 mana into it, and whenever they gain life, they put a +1/+1 counter on top of your creature. And then 5 mana, they pump into it. When it becomes level 3, they get to return a creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. So they're definitely a life gain deck of some sort. We're going to have to move as quick as possible, bouncing a lot of things, and really just letting this Delver do its thing. So let's end our turn. Snow-covered plains and swamp. Okay. So yeah, Menace lifelink, and if it's kicked, which it's not, it's just played normally, when it's kicked, you get to return a creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. So that's pretty great. I'm going to let it resolve, and then we are going to bounce it. There's probably a case for waiting to do that, but I think we're all right. All right, we're going to draw that land, and then we'll probably consider on. Let's consider now. Let's go ahead and do that now. We've got 5 mana. We're going to go ahead and decline so we can get our 6th mana. Our 6th land, our 6th island. And they're black, so I'm sure they have some sort of removal as well. Even white has a removal spell at this point. Yep, there's the Righteous Valkyrie. Okay. That's not too helpful. Well, we got a little bit of stuff. Little bit of damage. That's what I was looking for to say. We got a little bit of damage in it up front, so that's good. What's not good is we don't have anything to deal with this Righteous Valkyrie at this point, and anything that they drop that's a cleric or an angel at this point is going to just gain on life. So it's unfortunate, but that's unfortunately the way that some of these games play. So we'll see what we can do. We get to drop a Leer next turn. If that's what we want to do, we might want to wait until our 6th turn so that we have an additional mana that we can use to cast something from our graveyard. So we could, use that Fading Hope again to bounce something back. So yeah, this is a cleric, so they're going to gain 1 life because it's the toughness that Righteous Valkyrie gains life, and then they get an additional life from the cleric class, so they get 16. Remember, because every time they gain 1, they get that +1 at this point. So we never really looked at this much, but whenever you gain life equal to the toughness of a cleric or an angel, and then if you get 7 more life than your starting life total, your creatures get +2/+2. So this is a really good card. Really good card. Teach by example with Fading Hope isn't terrible either. It'd be fun if we had that. Then we could bounce both their creatures to their hand and swing in again. We'll see. Yeah, I was going to say they probably are not going to swing in because we get another 3 points of damage in with our creature. I think we hold to that plan of just waiting until the next turn. Unfortunately, our Insectile Aberration just going to hang out in the air for a little bit. Probably going to find something to deal with that soon, and then we're going to be stuck with an empty board. All right, so they went ahead and updated this. So whenever they gain life, they put a +1/+1 counter. Target creature they control, which they're going to gain some life here because this has lifelink and menace, so I can't block. Yeah, probably going to put the counter. Yeah, I was going to say, we're probably going to put the counter on the Valkyrie. All right, they pass the turn. Let's see what happens. Okay, divide by 0. It's not too bad. All right. So do we play Leer? Or do we divide by 0? Because we have 6 mana. We could divide by 0, and we could get a Mascot Exhibition, which gives us a board full of creatures. I'm not sure of any mass removal they have. They might have... they probably have a Meat Hook Massacre, which Meat Hook Massacre is 2 black mana and X, and then whatever X is, it deals, it gives all of the creatures on the battlefield -X for whatever X is. So you can pump as much mana as you want into that to get rid of the field. But it also gains life whenever you kill your opponent's creatures, and then they take life, or it deals life to your opponent when your creatures die. So I would assume they have something like that, but that's not terrible because they're at 4 mana. So let's go ahead and see. We could attack and then bounce it right away. Then they're probably stuck playing the Valkyrie again next turn. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do that. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get the exhibition. We'll get in a few damage in the turn. Not sure if that's the right play. It seems like it's an okay play at this point, considering the cards that we have in our hand, what's going on in the game. Yeah, let's see. Like, they're just going to replay that. We'll see if they get their land drop this turn. They might be stuck on 4 mana, which would be good for us. Yeah, they're going to get 2 more lifelink damage in, which means they're probably going to make their Righteous Valkyrie a 3/5 again. Or maybe they're going to get risky and put it on the Null Priest. Who knows? No, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Let's let that happen. Okay, my turn. All right, so now we're at 7 mana. We're probably okay to play our Mascot Exhibition. I'm trying to think of the things that they could play. If they're playing an Angel version, they're probably... there's the Saga card. I forget what it's called. It's like something Retribution. Starts with an F. Retribution. Anyway, and then they get the drop a 4/4 angel, and then the angels do things as it progresses. If they drop it, we'll go over the card. But I think okay, 7 mana. We got a Leer. What can we do with Leer? We can only Fading Hope, which isn't a bad plan, because then we can double block the Null Priest with just those two, and then drop the Exhibition after that. Let's go ahead and drop Exhibition, because we'll actually be able to flash that back with the Leer later. So we'll get it out first and make them deal with the board. Okay. So something else that we can do, we'll see if they, okay, so they're going to attack him with the Null Priest, which makes sense. We can Leer and then Teach by Example. So that's 5, 6, 7. If we draw a land, we could Leer, Teach by Example, and then bounce both the Valkyries after this. So let's go ahead. Let's put the 4/4 here and the 3/2. Let's just put the big butts in the way, and they'll probably get rid of my 3/2, which is understandable. That's okay. So they're going to gain life. That's all going to happen. Let's see if we draw a land. If we draw a land, then that's going to be a pretty fun play. We'll get it. There we go. All right, I'm liking this. Okay, so we play Leer. All right, and then we Teach by Example, and then we Fading Hope. So we get to copy. We get to bounce both the creatures. Do we want? Yeah, we probably want a counterspell. Yeah, we'll keep it. It's fine. And we attack. Interesting line there. Okay, so they're drawing some land. They've probably got some things that they can do with more mana, maybe a sweeper. They might have Blood on the Snow, honestly, which is not good for us. Okay, so target opponent discards 2 cards, so they got rid of our Delver. Is that what was on our hand? I think it was. Okay, so we can't counter spells, right, because of Leer. But we can divide by 0, which gives us 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage in. And we can consider as well. Let's go ahead and just consider anyways, because ooh. Do we want that? Do we want a Cyclone Summoner? If we play the Cyclone, it's going to bounce most of our things, but we get to keep the Leer. But it gets rid of their things. I don't know. Man, that's hard. I think we go ahead and decline. Well, if we decline, then we'll take the action. We'll put it in the graveyard and we'll draw a card. Okay, so we get a land. That's good. Let's bounce that Valkyrie back and just get in. And we'll get another mascot exhibition. We'll just keep piling on the exhibitions. All right, let's see what happens. Blood on the Snow. That would be unfortunate. Be highly unfortunate. But what do they get back? They get their Null Priest back. That would be the only thing. Okay. So a Harbinger, which has lifelink. Lifelink. Let's see. They can destroy our Lear. So we probably don't do that. And beginning of the end step, if you gain 4 more life this turn, you get a 4/4 Angel. So that's really unfortunate for us. Really unfortunate. And we couldn't counter it because of Lear, which it's all right. It's okay. Maybe the Cyclone Summoner was something good to keep. Do we attack in? I think we do. But we keep the Lear back. But then they gain 4 life. get a token. So are we okay with that? And they're going to kill one of our things. So they're going to gain 4 life. It's going to offset. They're only going to take 1 point of damage. Man. All right. I guess we're not attacking. But we will go ahead and play another Mascot Exhibition. And I've got at least enough in the air that I can block that thing and get rid of it. Yeah, you get to play your Angel. What else they got? You got another one. We can't counter it still. Yeah, they're going to gain 4 life. You get to put a +1/+1 counter. Okay, well, going to gain 5 more life, unfortunately. They get a 4/4. Gain more life. Man, that was just a very unfortunate card for them to get against us. That doesn't help much. Okay, and this is, let's see, whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So just whenever they gain life, so they get to keep pumping that thing. Highly unfortunate for us. If we attack him with the 4/4s, they probably block with the 7/8. Gains them more life. Like this just ruining us. Totally ruining us. So I think we just play another Mascot Exhibition and say go. Like there's nothing more to do at this point. We can flash back another Mascot Exhibition. Oh man, Lanta. How? Oh, Angels. So much life. And they're all going to get massive. Oh, GG. GG for us. Okay. Well. Man, that Cyclone Summoner is looking a lot better right now. How much have we got in the air? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 damage in the air. Can't block everything. So let's go ahead and jump it. And let them gain 11 more life. Make something else bigger. Yeah, our only hope is a Cyclone Summoner right now. And they're going to gain all the life. Yeah, all the life. Well, this is a fun game to include. Life gain is a butt. What's funny is we can teach by example our Mascot Exhibition. Okay, well we got hey, looky here, we can bounce some things. Does that help us? Does this help us? Oh man, what do we have in our learn board at this point? I don't think we have Don't think we have much. We can do anything. We can exile something. Okay. Does that help us? Getting rid of okay, so that's 5 mana, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 mana, so we could exile 2 things. They get to draw 2 cards, so we could get rid of both of those Harbingers, which is at this point it's not like the best thing. Okay, well, so we can bounce a token. Let's bounce a token. No, we can't bounce a token. Okay, we got to bounce a Valkyrie. That's fine. We'll bounce a Valkyrie. We'll get Introduction to Annihilation. We will Teach by Example, which gives us a 5 mana left over to do this twice. We will get rid of this. And then we will get rid of this. Okay. So they have nothing on the board that has life gain. We can't really swing in because they've got 6, 12, 18, 22 damage in the air, which is enough to get rid of us. And we don't want to die. That's not why we're here. We're trying to survive. We got to get 87 life. Man, I don't know. I almost wonder if it's worth playing this game anymore. But I think we're going to say no attacks, and we're going to see how resilient we can be with this mono blue deck. Oh, this is great fun, friends. Great fun. Let's see what happens. What's fun is because we could, like I said, we could get our Cyclone Summoner. This is probably a bad idea. We probably could have kept that and just waited for the right opportune moment, but we didn't do that, unfortunately. But we have 2 more in our deck, right? We've got a 5% chance according to the untap.gg thing here on the side. 5% chance to draw a Cyclone Summoner. But what does that do for us? If we do that, we get rid of all their tokens, which is great. And we're getting rid of a lot of these clerics that just jumped up here. Now they're at 110 life. Fancy. Yeah. Swinging in. This is rough. I don't think we're winning this, but we're just going to keep trying. We're going to keep trying. We got 3 blockers. Nope. Unfortunate. Okay. So we got 10, 11, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can divide by 0 something. We can mascot exhibition. We mascot exhibition. We divide by 0. We put the Valkyrie back. And we get another mascot exhibition because what else are we going to do at this point? Yeah, I think they probably have enough to overcome us at this point. Yeah, they've got plenty. Let's just say good game because that was ridiculous and we really tried. They're at 110 life. So, Aragon, hats off to you, my friend. We are defeated. It happens. Got to brush it off. Go to next game. Okay, we're playing against Rampaging Fungus. The Fungus is rampaging. All of the rage from the Fungus. Okay, we've got 3 land. Hall of the Storm Giants definitely will come into play untapped, which is good for us. We can consider, and then we can foretell a bunch of things. Once again, against aggro, who knows what's going to happen. We might draw into something great to help us there. I think we keep it. It gets 2 of our epiphanies out of our deck. A couple things that we can foretell. We at least can look at the top card of our library and determine if we want to keep a card, and we can have a counter spell. So let's try it. Oh, I just revealed I'm using a Mac. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's all I have right now. I plan on getting a gaming computer, hopefully this Christmas. We'll see. We'll see if Santa brings me one. Okay, we got an island, and we might just, yeah, we'll consider on their turn. We'll consider to see what's going on. It's one of those things, like, I'm not sure if I wait to consider, because we want to foretell something next turn, so we definitely do that. Oh, do I want to put that in my graveyard? I'm going to go ahead and draw it because it gets it out of our deck, keeps it in our hand. Hopefully we can just get some other things happening. All right, saw it coming. You're getting foretold. Yeah, gets it out of our hand. It's there later game if we can draw some land. Where that's kind of the crutch right now. We need some land. We've got one more island, but we need to have a pocket here where we can get some land, especially because we're playing against this silly deck, the World Championship deck with Smoldering Dragons and all the not fun things. So we do have a Test of Talents in our hand, which is great against this matchup. Hopefully we can. I mean, they are playing the Dragons version more than likely, so I'm pretty sure they still run Epiphany, but they might not run the combo. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. These decks are constructed in many different ways. What's annoying, though, is regardless of them getting a spell countered, it still gets counters on Smoldering Angle. So let's look at this. It's a Dragon Egg, which is pretty cool. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you put a number of counters on Smoldering Egg equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. And then when it has 7 or more Ember counters on it, you remove them, and it turns into this awesome 4/4 flyer that whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it deals 4 damage, or not 4 damage, 2 damage to a target. But if you keep casting multiple things, then it keeps doing more damage, which is no fun for us. Okay, so this is definitely a foretell turn, because we leave 2 mana open for a Test of Talents or a Saw It Coming. Then they only have 1 blue source at this point. Let's see if they get stuck on mana. That would be good for us. That would be great. May not happen. It's all right, though. Okay. Lear. I definitely think this deck might not benefit as much from Lear. I mean, we saw it do some work, but with us having so many counter spells, it might be kind of difficult. Okay, so they're wanting to make a token. Okay, yeah, we'll resolve your egg thing. You get some things. Okay. They're wanting to deal 2 damage and then draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Do we let this happen? Lets them dig a little deeper. They might be able to find their land, because I think they might be stuck on land here. Let's go ahead and counter it. I think it gives us a little bit more tempo that we need in this matchup. Yep, they missed on land, so that was good for us. Okay, so we have this here. I think we foretell again. And then if we draw a land next turn, we can Epiphany. Okay, they drew a land, but it was another blue source, which is good. Good to be stuck on no blue. Okay, so they foretell, which may... it could be a Saw It Coming. Could be. Well, we didn't draw land, so I guess Delver's the play. And I don't think it benefits us to blow up their pathway here with our Field of Ruin, because they can just go get a source, and then it shuffles their deck to potentially find a pocket of land that they need, which we don't want them to have. But they could just be drawing off the top and get what they need anyways. Yeah, I still don't think it's the right play. Okay, so I think that's all we do this turn. Very uneventful. Delver, hang out. Hopefully you don't die. There's probably a Dragon's Fire in there somewhere. But we could Test of Talents the Dragon's Fire. You still get your counters on your egg. I don't know. I don't think that's good either. It gives us a lot of information. But they just play a spell next turn and then flip their egg anyways. I'm really hoping to get a bounce spell somewhere, because we can bounce that egg and then their dragon doesn't become a thing and they have to do the whole process over again. Is this the right play? Dragon's Fire, Test of Talents. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. Might not be the right play, but okay. So that's gross. Hopefully they get stuck on land again. We do get all of their Dragon's Fires. And do they play... They play a couple Epiphanies. Okay. Well. Yeah, it looks like Epiphany might have been their top card. I don't know. That happens sometimes where you get to see a card from their deck. I don't know if that's just like a glitch thing or what. Did they not draw land? Ho-ho! Okay. And they're off of double blue, which is really good for us. Okay, well, they get to flip their dragon, which is unfortunate. That might be enough for them. We'll see. Okay. Oh, we did that. Fading hope. The hope is fading for you. Do it all over again. Yeah, we need that land. I wish I could have it now, though. Okay, let's just hope they don't draw land, because if they do, then dragon's coming down and beating our face. My phone's making fun noises. Oh, well, there's your egg. Yep, it resolves. Oh, they get to negate. They have a negate. Well, we can't play an Epiphany. Is there a way? We blow up? No, I don't think we can blow it up and still play the Epiphany. They'll still get a blue source to play that negate. And yeah, it's our other land. Okay. We can play Lear. And then next turn they can't counter our Epiphany. So that's fun. Okay, let's just wait till their turn and we'll see what they do. Hopefully there's no blue source, no blue source, no blue source. Don't do it. No blue source. Or no mana at all. No land. Don't do it. Don't slow roll it. You don't have it. I just don't. Okay. Sweet. Awesome. Whew. That's a rough matchup for us. So I'm glad that we got that win. Got that win. It says victory. Cool beans. All right, here we go. Joey Cobble. You'll see his name in a second because it'll be up there in the top left-hand corner. Joey Cobble. Cobble. Okay. We're on the draw again, unfortunately. We only have one island, which isn't the end of the world. If we draw another one, then I think we're okay. I think we'll go ahead and keep it because we got two Delvers and hello. I know you yelled at me to go, but I'm just going to be friendly anyways. It's a cool island you got there, bro. I've got a Delver. You want to say hi to it? He wants to say hi to you. I'm sure you have something to deal with it, though. We'll see, which is okay because we get some stuff out of your hand. Thank you for hazarding that away. All right. And foretell. Makes sense. Let's try Delver number 2. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we're going to decline. We're going to do this. And I think we go ahead and divide by 0 the Celestis. We'll see if that is allowed. Okay, so a little bit of tempo helps us out. Let's see, how many cards do they have? They have 4 cards. We have 4 cards. This dude's being really annoying. Joey Cobble, there's no reason to be like that, man. We gotta take some time to decide what we want to do sometimes. All right. I'll just do that. Give you the stank face. Sure. Play your Celestis. I'll decline and put you on an 18 turn clock. All right. Well, this might be the CGB deck that he put together recently. Got an iteration. So you get to put 1 into your hand, 1 on the bottom of your library, and 1 into exile to play. So they find another land that they can play, which is good for them, and they put it on white and play this thing. So create a blue 1/1 blue bird. Okay, yeah, we'll let you have the bird, and then I'll bounce it. They get to gain a couple life, and then whenever one of their birds deals damage, then they look at that player's hand and draw a card, and then you may put a card you own from outside the game into your library. So yeah. Anyway, or into your hand. I'm just gonna get rid of the bird. Do we want the deluge? Do we want the deluge? Well, it does help us dig. I think so. I think we keep it. And then we know that our Delver is going to flip. And then we'll play a land. And we will attack for 3. And this guy's being really annoying, so I'm going to mute him. And turn. Cool. Do your thing. Yup. No birdies there for you to do anything with. Play another one. Okay. Okay. It is an interesting card. This is not what CGB was playing, so trying some things out here. So they've got enough for counterspell interaction here. Let's see if it is countered. If so, we get it out of the hand, and then we still get the flashback. Okay, cool. So we have Epiphany, and want to consider or have Leer. Let's do Leer. And we get another epiphany. So that's 6. And we can do this and bounce that bird. We'll see if it sticks. Okay. We don't want you to have nothing. Okay, we'll keep a Tested Hounds on top. All attack. And then we can flash back our environmental sciences to help us with some more mana. We can use a divide by 0 to bounce something if we need to. We can memory deluge for 4 mana instead of the normal flashback of 7. Although I believe that just only gives us 4 deep again. So they can put a card they own from outside the game on top of their library. So that, oh, excuse me, wow, that disrupts their draw, but they know exactly what they're drawing. Okay, so they're going to Doomscar. Perfectly acceptable. And they're going to deluge themselves. Okay. Well, for a 5/6, we might get to use our combo, which is fun. I think we go ahead and just foretell both of these and then say go. And then we have Tested Talents open for whatever they want to try to do. We'll see. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. They are getting exactly what they want from their sideboard. It'd be great if they played an Epiphany here. Nope, they'd rather make it night. Okay. They might have pulled an Epiphany from their sideboard. Celestis doing its Celestis thing. All right. Sure. Let's just bounce it again. Make them play it. And if they want to counter this, that's fine. Ooh. Okay. We'll let you test the talents might divide by 0. Now they get all the information that they need. We could have tested their test of talents. Talented. Yeah, we could have countered their test of talents with ours, but it's probably best to try to get the Epiphany if we can. And they at least know we have it now. We have 8 mana available. We need 2 more so that we can pull off our combo. We'll see what happens this turn. I would hate for them to test of talents our Epiphany. That's another annoying fear when you're playing against a blue deck. Okay. They're going to make it day now? Okay. So they can do the drawing and the discarding. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so we've got 2 mana open at this point. They may have a solid coming. They might have their own test of talents for the Epiphany. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9. Or sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7, if I can count. We have 7 mana. And we could play our Cyclone Summoner, but then it probably gets countered and then they get to go off. So maybe we just hold back and we deluge at the end of turn, try to find that land, and then copy our stuff. So we didn't play anything, which is okay. They have 9 mana. They're going to pass on turns as well. Maybe we could try to disrupt some other stuff here. Let's go after that. Probably better to deluge there, but it's all good. This might not be the right play. I'm probably just dirtling here. Okay. And say, what's going on? I'm confused. Why is their mana being tapped? Okay. Oh man. Surely they have a counterspell, right? Well, what if they don't? What if they don't? See, if we play this and it gets countered, then they play theirs. And they get to take a turn. Maybe they have the combo in their hand. This is where it's getting tricky. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Might be the mistake of this game, but we'll see. Surely they have a counterspell, right? If they don't, then they're probably going to Memory Deluge, try to find something. Okay. Because that leaves them with 2 mana open. So they could potentially find like a Jawari Disruption. Oh no, we'll see. And if it doesn't, okay. I might. Let's see. We need a land. Okay. That's good for us. We need a land. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Well, we get another turn to try to find a land. Let's see what happens. I don't want that. Okay. that was our chance, friends. That was our chance. I mean, I could just Epiphany again, I suppose. Let's see. 7 minus 3 is 4. Add 1 is 5. So we can't Celestis and Epiphany. That's really annoying. What do they have? I think we just wait again. Maybe we just deluge, try to deluge. That was highly unfortunate. I think we win if we get the land because, yeah, considering that the Delver might flip, I mean, that's 8 damage and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, it's pretty close at least. If the Delver flips, we win for sure in that spot. So we really need that land. Really needed it. I probably should have played Celestis last turn, but I think if we can deluge. Okay. Let's see. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 open. I think we go ahead and test of talents, and that way we can see what we're up against. And they're going to divide by 0 their burn. So, okay, which is fine, because if we draw a land, then we teach by example. So I probably should have played Celestis last turn. That way we were able to do this, but we didn't do it, and that's okay. And resolve you. Okay. Do that. And then we'll end turn. Mm-hmm. Yep. You can do that. Okay. This isn't an instant, right? Nope, that's just a sorcery. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Do they have a counterspell? That is the question. Okay, so we teach by example. Stuck. What do you have? We teach by example Epiphany. Okay, makes sense. They have something at least. We do get 2 turns. I think we still go ahead and swing in. They can block 1. It's got indestructible, but it's okay. All right. Then we're Epiphanying again. I think we might have done this, friends. That's pretty cool. We'll see. That might not have been the thing to do. Do you want to block one? It is currently night. Going to do this. And then we will attack again. Okay, well, we got it. I'm glad I muted that guy because he was probably going off. Joey, it was a pleasure. Hopefully you can be a little nicer to somebody else. Guess what? We got an achievement. We got an achievement. Achievement. Yeah, we unlocked our second achievement. We were never getting to the third because I was a dummy and put us in the regular play queue at the beginning. So if we did do that, we might have gotten there. But I think this is all the time I have for today as far as games. So we're going to just do a post game wrap up and talk about some things that were fun, some things that probably didn't go that well, maybe some card changes. I think right now this deck is okay. It seemed kind of like we weren't ever going to do anything or win. And I think that's the kind of the fun thing about this deck is you just never feel like you're going to win, which you're like, why is that fun? Well, it just is because magic, like you just never know what's going to happen and you throw people off of their game plan a lot. So whenever people aren't expecting something, that's always a good thing. And I feel like this deck does an okay job at that. I mean, there's only so much you can do with mono blue. And this shell that we have here, it seems somewhat competitive. I mean, we're doing okay. So I think I will maybe add another Celestis. Not sure. Maybe drop a Leer. Maybe only do one Leer. 2 seems a little excessive, and maybe just 2 Cyclone Summoner too. I really want to see that against aggro decks. There's some other cards though that might be interesting. Like there's the Spell Satchel, right? That can every time you play an instant or sorcery, is that how you spell Satchel? Come on, yeah, there we go. So it has Magecraft. Whenever you cast a copy or an instant or source, cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you put a book counter on Spell Satchel, and you can remove a counter to give you some mana, and it can also help you draw cards later on. So maybe this is okay. We got a lot of instants and sorceries that can give us a mana boost through this card, and it might be better than Celestis because it's just a little bit more controlled, and we don't have to worry about all the triggers of determining if we want to draw a card or not one. I don't know. Celestis is really good. I think that it might be okay in this deck. I think it's okay in a lot of control shells. Just it helps you dig a little bit. It helps you just get the things that you're looking for a little bit quicker, and helps you gain a little bit of life, which can be helpful. So I don't know. Maybe Spell Satchel could be good. There's the Hermit guy. What's his name? Yeah. Malevolent Hermit. Malevolent Hermit. He's a wizard as well, which is good with our Cyclone Summoner. And even on his opposite side as a Spirit Wizard, he wouldn't get bounced when Cyclone comes out. And I would like to have him in this deck. I only have one currently, so maybe when I get a few more, I'll try him out. But he's definitely like a Spell Pierce on a stick, which is good. So you pay 1 mana and sacrifice him to counter target non-creature spell unless his controller pays 3. And then his opposite side isn't bad either, because he becomes a flying 2/2, and non-creature spells that you control can't be countered, which could really be helpful towards our in-game plan of Teach by Example and Alrund's Epiphany. So this guy probably is an include that needs to happen. I'm not sure what we drop. Maybe maybe a little bit more counter stuff. Like we said, we could probably take away a Cyclone Summoner, a Leer, maybe Celestis. I don't know. Maybe when I get a few more of those guys, I'll try them out and see what we can do. Anyway, that's just kind of a couple thoughts on some things that we could add to potentially improve the matchup. Maybe some more Memory Deluge. I'm not sure. I think 2 is probably okay. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this content that we were able to provide today. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, turn on that bell so that you know when new videos are being posted. I'm going to be kind of inconsistent here at first just because my time is very divided between a lot of different things. And so I'm hoping to at least get at least one video a week. That's kind of my goal right now. And then as time provides, I can get in there a little bit more. But I hope you had fun. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.